turnover chain, Cam. So this was not something that was announced officially by the university or the football program, but
Correct.
this was something that was stated in a conversation between a coach and a recruit. Then it took off from there as now becoming fact known that there will not be a turnover chain in 2022.
Yeah, that seems to be it. Alex Mirabal, the offensive line coach, was the coach in question who said that, or reportedly said that to a player. That we're not about the jewelry, we're about that work. And yeah, I mean, now that's a sentiment, and yeah, we should be about the work. But they also had sideline props at Oregon. So let's not, I mean, it was like they had a chain with a big O, and they did the whole thing. So it seems a little disingenuous to have had a sideline prop, which was born of the generation of props that came after the turnover chain came to prominence. And again, the turnover chain was not the first, but we did re-innovate it. It was the best. And then you saw all these props and sideline things happen after Miami came out with that turnover chain that year, right? So it's funny to me that you had one of those that's a descendant of the originators of this generation of thing, and then you come here and say, we're about the work, not about the jewelry. It's real easy to go Google up a picture of an Oregon player putting on a chain on the sideline after getting a turnover. That's all I'm saying. I thought the turnover chain ran its course a while ago, especially because Miami's not been good. And it's one thing in 2017 when you're running up 10-0 and everything, right? And you put that on and it's great and okay, cool, fine. All these turnovers. We led the country in turnover margin. We got so many turnovers and we didn't turn the ball over. And yeah, it's a celebration every time we link up because we get that because they took the ball away from you 4 or 5 times a day, and we're about to go spend that, go get some money, right? But now you're celebrating while you're losing. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
That's what did in the turnover chain more for me than anything. So if that's the move that, the U is going to speak for itself and we're not going to have the chain, fine. Good for me. Let's keep working.
So it debuted in 2017. And that was one of my initial thoughts was, what does this look like when you're down 27-7,
Yeah.
5 minutes left in the game, and so all is lost? Do you celebrate this? It's one thing. You're down 3-0, 5 minutes into the game. You can still celebrate. It's still a game. You just got started. Okay. But do you remember the first time that Miami, I don't know the answer to this question, but Miami was kind of hopelessly down and it looked a bit ridiculous?
There were many. I mean, 2018, the next year even had a bunch. 2019 as well. I mean, even the last couple of years, 500 football for the last couple of years. And I mean, you're still breaking out the chain and they, I mean, the 2017 at Notre Dame, break out the chain again. Oh my God. That was a singular moment pretty much. So, I mean, there were a lot. I thought you were going to ask me the first turnover chain. That was Malik Young on the interception, by the way. But yeah, it's one of those things, man, and it's, if we would have used it like the super duper secret handshake that you have with your homeboy who's next in the lineup after you hit a bomb, you know what I mean? Because if it's like 4-3 and I hit a 500-foot bomb, right? So we're up, or we're either tied 4-4 or we're up 5-3, whichever way. You go back to the, touch home plate, you're going back to the dugout, you're doing all that, right? It's 12-1 and you're losing and you run into one, ain't all that. You see, okay, cool. Maybe a high five. Great. Okay, cool. We're going to keep moving, right? But if we used it in that special kind of a way, we're like, okay, it makes sense and it fits with the flow of the game and we're going to do it. But if we're getting our doors blown off, we're going to leave the chain in this case and, save that for, you can still put it on in the locker room. You know what I mean? Take your picture. Okay, yeah, I got a chain today. Here's football. Here's a chain. Boom. But like, maybe not during the game when we're losing by 4 touchdowns, and it was just, no, if we get a turnover, we're going to use it and everything. And it just, Yeah. I mean, and to James's point, last year some players did refuse to wear it. It wasn't most, it was some, but they did refuse to wear it because, like, man, get that away from me, bro. I'm trying to win, and I appreciate that energy. But yeah, they needed to get rid of it.